After the Indian Air Force used the Brahmos missile to destroy nearly 10 Pakistani airbases in Operation Sindoor, global militaries and strategists have been impressed by the Brahmos, and its demand is soaring. Malaysia and Vietnam have become the latest countries to inquire about the Indian Brahmos missile. What's even more impressive is that these Southeast Asian nations have shown interest in the air-launched Brahmos missiles for their own Sukhoi 30 fighter jet fleets. The same combination that the Indian Air Force used to cripple the Pakistani Air Force in the recent India-Pakistan war. Earlier, the Philippines had bought multiple batteries of land-based Brahmos missiles from India to guard against Chinese aggression and expansionist ambitions. So this in itself is new. If the deal goes through, this will mark a historic first export order for the integration of the Brahmos supersonic cruise missile on foreign fighter jets. That's not all. Reports suggest that after Indian Army and Indian Air Force's Operation Sindoor military strikes inside Pakistan, 17 nations have inquired about the Made in India Brahmos missile. So while the Pakistani trolls can believe their own government propaganda, the world militaries know the truth that Pakistan had no answer to the hammering by the Indian Brahmos supersonic cruise missile.
बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल अभी लॉन्च किए हैं, एक नूर खान एयरपोर्ट पे गिरा है.
Of course, be it the Philippines or Vietnam or even Malaysia, they all face the common threat of Chinese expansionist ambitions in the South China Sea, just like India does across the LAC in the Himalayas. So will the deal happen? How many Brahmos are they seeking, and which other countries want the Brahmos? Let's try and quickly answer some of these questions. According to Defense News reports, Vietnam is exploring the purchase of 36 Sukhoi 30 fighter jets armed with the Brahmos A or air-launched variant, while Malaysia has already shown the serious interest of integrating the missiles into its existing fleet of 18 Sukhoi 30 fighter jets. Now, the Brahmos strikes during Operation Sindoor echoed throughout the world. Earlier, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh himself elaborated. You must have seen that in Operation Sindoor, Brahmos missiles have done a miraculous job. And not only this, after the miracle shown by the Brahmos missile, about 14 to 15 countries in the world have demanded Brahmos missile from India, unquote. Even before India's anti-terror operation inside Pakistan after the Pahalgam terror attack, Vietnam was already in discussions for a potential $700 million deal for the Brahmos to strengthen its own naval and coastal defense capabilities. On the other hand, reports state that Malaysia may equip the missile on its own Sukhoi 30 fighter jets and the Kedah-class warships. Both countries aim to acquire these weapons to counter the rising threats in the South China Sea. The interest in integrating the Brahmos missile comes at a time when India is also building an upgraded Brahmos 2, a hypersonic missile successor that promises twice the speed of Mach 6 to 8 compared to the current version of 3, and nearly 5 times the range at 1500 kilometers to the current 300 kilometer limit. These talks could just be the beginning of a deeper defense partnership, with Southeast Asia likely to become an important market for India's next-generation weapon systems. Now, Vietnam and Malaysia's Sukhoi 30s share a common design with Indian Sukhoi 30 MKIs. So this will make the integration of the Brahmos technically feasible. However, reports state that the process is not as easy or straightforward. They will require to follow the same process that India followed while integrating the Brahmos on the Sukhoi 30s, and both Vietnam and Malaysia will require certain modifications. The HAL had to reinforce the structure of the Sukhoi 30 jets to integrate this heavy-duty missile. Now, this included modifications to the aircraft's hardpoints and fuselage to carry the 2.5-ton missile, as well as withstand the additional forces, especially during takeoff and missile launch. After the stellar performance of the Brahmos missile against Pakistan, there has been a significant increase in global demand for acquiring this missile, especially after Defense Minister Rajnath Singh announced that export for the Brahmos are now set to begin from the newly inaugurated Brahmos Aerospace Integration and Testing Facility along the Lucknow-Kanpur National Highway. On Independence Day this year, Prime Minister Modi highlighted India's goal to become self-reliant in defense manufacturing. He stated, "If we were not self-reliant, Would we have been able to carry out Operation Sindoor with such swift speed? But the power of Make in India was in the hands of our army. So without worry, without interruption, without hesitation, our army continued to demonstrate its valor. He added, "For the past 10 years, we have been consistently pursuing a mission of self-reliance in defense sector, and its results are visible today." Unquote. The indigenously built Brahmos missile made its combat debut in Operation Sindoor in May this year, 2025. The Indian Air Force conducted precision strikes, first targeting Pakistani terror camps and then Pakistani airbases deep inside enemy territory. According to claims by government officials, almost 20% of Pakistan's Air Force's assets have been destroyed with the help of Brahmos. Brahmos was used to target Pakistani airbases including Rafiki, Murid, Noor Khan, Rahim Yar Khan, Sukur and Chunian. While speaking of the power projection of this missile, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh added, "Brahmos is not just a weapon but a message of India's military strength." Brahmos was jointly developed by India's DRDO and Russia's NPO Mashinostronia, which was initiated in 1998. The project was authorized with a capital of $250 million. This formidable missile is considered to be one of the fastest supersonic cruise missiles with a speed of Mach 2.8 to Mach 3 and can be launched from submarines, ships, aircraft and even land-based platforms. The average cost of a single Brahmos missile is estimated to be around 34 crore rupees according to various media reports. The satellite images and drone visuals confirm neither Pakistani nor Chinese air defense systems like the HQ-9 could intercept the Brahmos missile during the military operation. Dr. Sudhir Kumar Mishra said in an interview with CNN News 18, "The Brahmos is a supersonic missile. It cannot be intercepted by the air defense systems of Pakistan and China. It cannot be intercepted by any known defense system in the world." Unquote. He also explained why this is an era of missile warfare rather than traditional aerial battles or dogfights. Dr. Mishra added, "We have access and developed our own technology to meet any time of requirement of the armed forces. Nowadays, dogfights don't happen. The reason is that if any aircraft launches a missile, this missile will lock onto the enemy aircraft. Once the aircraft is locked, it's very difficult to evade." Unquote. The Brahmos is a supersonic missile traveling at nearly 3 times the speed of sound, which makes reaction time for air defense systems extremely short. During Operation Sindoor, Brahmos missiles were launched from the Sukhoi 30 fighter jets and maybe from ground platforms as well, striking targets deep inside Pakistan with high precision, reportedly within just 45 seconds of launch. Dr. Sudhir Kumar Mishra said, "The Brahmos missile has a range of 300 kilometers onwards. Coming to the warhead, it uses a conventional warhead. It's not nuclear. Within minutes, it can reach 300 kilometers. It can cause huge damage to the runways. We have land-to-land version, land-to-ship, ship-to-land. We can launch Brahmos from Sukhoi 30 also. Our air defense system has proved it can deny any tactic by adversaries." Unquote. Dr. Mishra also explained why Brahmos is truly at the pinnacle of global missile technology, adding, "Brahmos is a cruise missile, which means it can take a trajectory from low to high. It's very difficult for any ship-based radar to detect. Brahmos has the capability to reach anywhere. It's very accurate. It's accurate to the pinpoint level." Unquote. According to a report by Sputnik, New Delhi has not officially made a statement about the exact figures of the Brahmos missiles, which are operated by the 3 wings of its forces. However, according to Indian defense publication, which cited a Chinese claim back in 2020, India had 14,000 Brahmos missiles. But this number has not been independently verified. In 2020, a squadron of 18 Sukhoi 30 NKI warplanes were fitted with the Brahmos missiles, with reports subsequently suggesting that the Indian Air Force was planning to purchase 200 missiles from Brahmos Aerospace. As of March 2023, the Indian Navy had ordered 200 Brahmos missiles in a deal worth $2.5 billion. So which countries are seeking the Brahmos? Philippines was the first country to sign a formal export deal with India for the Brahmos in January 2022. India sent a second batch of the Brahmos missiles to the Philippines in April 2025. Under the $375 million deal, it marked India's first major missile export order. Under the export deal, India is providing 3 coastal defense batteries. The first battery was delivered in April 2024. Now, West Asian countries like Egypt, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Oman in the Middle East, and Latin American nations including Brazil, Chile, Argentina and Venezuela have all shown interest in the Brahmos. While most are eyeing the naval and coastal defense variants, Malaysia and Vietnam are showing interest in the air-launched Brahmos for their Sukhoi 30s. Other Southeast Asian countries include Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore and Brunei, who are all admirers of this Indian weapon. With Brahmos' successful precision strikes against Pakistan, will this help India emerge as a major defense exporting nation? Leave a comment with your opinion, and if you like such informative news reports, then like and subscribe to Inconnect News.